Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations in to talk about what they are giving to our community. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela, and we're with the Putkela Group Real Estate Professionals. As realtors and brokerage owners, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week.
Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston. Hello and welcome everybody to another week of the Welcome to Livingston podcast, where we invite local businesses and organizations to come in and tell us what they're doing in the community. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela. And this podcast has been brought to you by the Putkela Group Real Estate Professionals, and it's powered by Jim Paquette at Lake Michigan Credit Union.
Yes, and we have a great episode in store for us today. Today we have with us Olga Long, and she is the chair of the Sparty Gala with the Livingston County Spartans.
Yeah, so excited to be here. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is an exciting opportunity, and I'm so grateful to be here today.
Yay, but I know this is something you're very passionate about. I'm also involved. I'm on the board of directors for this organization, but it's this big event and I don't know how you do it. You just work wonders and make magic happen. So tell us, what is the Sparty Gala?
I know. Well, everybody here helps put the magic into it. So the Sparty Gala is done here in Livingston County. It's on Friday, September 26th. It's coming up like right away. What the gala is, it's all of us collaborating in the community, coming together for a great cause. So what we do is we're generating funds for scholarships for incoming freshmen that are attending MSU. And so like their senior year of high school, they're going to apply for the scholarship. And so we have probably, I think it's 11 or 12 candidates each year that they will submit their applications and go through kind of a rigorous process of looking at each of their essays and their submissions. And then we have 12 candidates will come out and get their $1,000 scholarships. So we gather as a group together at Oak Point Country Club, and we have a beautiful dinner and some drinks and lots of fellowship and camaraderie and networking, all to help generate money for the scholarship fund.
Cause,
yeah, so it's great. So there are $1,000 scholarships, and we started out small, I think in 2014, but now we've had 150 scholarships that have been awarded since that time.
That's remarkable. And that's all the students right here in Livingston County.
Yes.
All kinds of different schools, too.
So many schools are represented. And last year, actually, we had our first student that received the scholarship that was homeschooled. So that was the first, and the student was just exemplary in all ways possible, as well as academic, but they also have to do community service. So you can't just excel academically like so many scholarships. Yes. We want you involved in the community, and that really is part of like the heartbeat, right, of Livingston County Spartans. Like Spartans we want you to be involved because it's so critical today as a student and also as a contributor in society and an adult going into the workforce, right? It's so critical that all of us come together to, support the community and all the wonderful nonprofits that they're out there today.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
And the fact that the group is able to hand out so many scholarships year in and year out,
I know,
is really just truly remarkable.
Right? It really is. Even during COVID, we're like, well, we're not going to, hold the fundraising gala. Maybe we're going to delay it for the year, but through wonderful sponsors and donors in the community, we still awarded scholarships, and we were so proud of that, and helping all the deserving students because the need was still there. Right. There's so many students who, even like myself, when I was going to college, my parents couldn't afford to help me. They set the foundation, but they didn't have the financial wherewithal to help me with tuition. So between what I saved myself or student loans, or when I started working to have my employer help, not everybody has that backbone of the parents that are able to help you go to college. So, a lot of times you want your kid to have skin in the game and have them save something, right? Like all of us with our 5 kids, you're like, you have to put something in, we're going to help you a lot. But, what do you have invested in it? And so I think that's also the scholarship also based on somewhat on need, but also what you're doing academically, what are you doing in the community? So the need is always there, and like so many great organizations. Why is it, the need need is way up here and what you're able to provide is here. You're like, oh, so the need is always so great. And the submissions are amazing and really, really heartwarming, reading a lot of the stories, right? And all the great work the kids do in school, at home, in their church, in their community. You know, it really is like very pulling on your heart.
All great kids.
All great kids.
Yeah.
All
And I
great
like
kids.
that each year it's several different schools. So not just Brighton High, not
That's
just,
right.
Howell, Heartland. We've had Pinckney, we've had Fowlerville, we've even had CSA.
Yes.
And
You're
even as
right.
far north as Fenton, because interestingly, even though Fenton as a school isn't part of the county, a lot of the residents that their children attend Fenton are technically in Livingston County. So that's what the cutoff is the student has to live within the Livingston County perimeters. They have to be, I believe it's a graduating senior and heading to Michigan State next year.
Right.
So,
Right, exactly. And there's so many schools. And like I said, they're represented, and it seems like there's a few from each school each year, that are selected. And it's so fun when, you're awarding the scholarships and you get to hear their, their stories and read their submissions. And it's really heartwarming. And I think that so many of us enjoy helping kids.
Right.
And for me, that's why I got involved. Not only is, my husband on the board, but it's like, I want to, what can I do and how can I get involved in. We love helping families and helping children. We helped raise a couple of my nieces that were, at-risk kids that were going to drop out of high school, but instead they came to live with us. They graduated from high school and got hardship scholarships to attend Western. And so there's just a lot of passion there. And so you're like, how do you do it? That's really it. We all have gas in our gas tank, and that really is the fuel that gets us excited about this and seeing the kids that you can help. And when they're sitting at your table and you're just like, oh my gosh, how exciting that $1,000 was money that maybe you didn't have to work a third job, or you were able to get your laptop for school. And so really knowing that the funds go to, help deserving students that are working so hard already, and can't wait to see what they do when they get to Michigan State and what they do. Maybe they come back and attend the gala and help us raise money for a future Spartan.
Right. Yep. No, and the gala is such a great event.
Isn't
it's, there's amazing speakers at it. So for those listening out there, what's the layout of the night? Someone's going to buy a ticket to go to it. What does this look like?
What? Well, yeah. So it's a really fun time. So you're going to show up at 6:00 at Oak Point, and you can be as dressy as you want. You can come in Spartan gear, or for those of us who like to get a little fancy and
it's nice
get
to
my
get dressed up
sparkles
sometimes.
on and my high heels. I'm like, oh yay! So come like that. So it starts at 6:00 for a wonderful hour. It's a couple hours really of an hour of networking and business development. You can come for pleasure or come for business. Come and meet new faces. Come and interact with a lot of the figureheads in the community. Corrigan is a sponsor, Bank of Ann Arbor. So it's like people you'll recognize, that seem to be involved in a lot of things in the community already. Great bankers and great real estate agents, good people that give their talent, time, and treasure. So then at 7:00, you'll enjoy a wonderful plated meal and beverages to go along with that. We all like our spirits, to keep us going through the night. And then at 8:00, we'll have our keynote speakers. And you mentioned that, Don, this year is something different for us. We've had more than one speaker before, and you're a diehard Spartan. You can run down the list
Yes,
of
I can.
all the. I know you can.
I think we're going to make you do that.
We're going to
That's
make
okay.
you do it. We're doing the Buzz final round. I know you can do it, and we've had a lot of really great speakers come in, and they share your stories. And if you were in a college sportsman before that, when they finish their stories, gosh, you're like, wow. Some are telling you where they came from, or a single mom working 4 jobs, or being raised by maybe their grandparent, where their parents had to work many jobs to get them as far as they did, or to go and pay for their tuition and then get them into the, the NFL or the NBA. Or
we've had
wow,
some big
right?
names of.
Yeah.
We really have, and your heart just goes, wow, what they had to do to get their kid that far.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's exciting. But why don't you talk about some
so-
of your favorite speakers? Who were they?
Well,
far?
I wanted to mention who this year's speakers are.
Yes.
Right. So this year we have Greg and Amanda Jones. So Greg Jones was a football player for Michigan State.
Yes.
He was on the New York Giants when they won the Super Bowl.
Yes, he was.
His wife, Amanda, was a basketball player at Michigan Michigan State. And for all of you guys out here, Google the two of them. He proposed to her on TV.
He did.
After the Super Bowl, when he won the Super Bowl with the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's very cool.
Very cool. Kind of before people were actually doing some of this, to like go and do it. It was so shocking. And when we interviewed them a couple weeks ago about coming in to speak, and they told us their story, and you're like, it's so heartwarming.
It is.
He's going to talk about, I'll give you a little sneak peek about part of his speech, because you're always intrigued again, like, how did you get to where you are today? Your journey. And we all have different things that happen in our life that bring you to your point, where you are. And we all have bumps and bruises from our journey and working so hard, and things that happen in his story of overcoming adversity, overcoming that, and continuing to climb the mountain. And the same with Amanda. But his was, growing up in Section 8 housing to winning the Super Bowl. I can't wait to hear everything in between. It's like the PB&J sandwich. I just can't wait to get to the middle of that, because it's going to be good. I'm like, I'll bring the Kleenex.
Yeah. No, and I mean, everybody has such amazing stories. So I mean, we had Mark D'Antonio, which was just amazing.
Was it not?
And I love at the beginning for you out there when you come, I got to meet Mark D'Antonio.
Yeah, we got
talk
photos
to
with
him, get photos with them. We had Greg Kelser, we had TJ Duckett.
Oh yeah.
We had Jalen Watts Jackson, who is, trouble with the snap. So, it's amazing list.
Cedric Irving.
Cedric Irving was great
they
with
were
Jason
so funny.
Strayhorn.
Yeah.
They had a great back and forth.
Did they not? Yeah.
And I know they do a podcast together as well. So it's just, what I get out of it is like, you get to hear their stories.
Yes.
But there's so many great Spartans, and they all talk about how the community at the university changed their lives. Right. And they always feel like they're part of that family.
They really say that, don't they?
They do.
That it stays with them. And I think things from speeches that always resonate with me, and Tom Izzo and D'Antonio, like the coaches, those that are the greatest coaches and the winningest of all times, what those players say is it was off the court, what they did for them, beyond transcending beyond for the rest of their life, their words of wisdom, and each of them saying that sometimes that coach might be the only father figure in your life, the one who either the only one you had, or the one that made that lasting impact and impression. And so for them to come and speak and share, their stories of people sitting around the room that also are impacted, or students, we could have a student there sitting going, wow, that could be me, and them sharing their stories and that they've impacted people their entire lives. That's like, wow, that the impact that they have, and the sharing of that, and D'Antonio and others coming and taking time out of what they're doing to like share their Spartan Will story on what it meant to them and what they did with it, right? They come out and like, it's beyond the university, it's that next step. And each of them having their own foundations and charities, that how they give back. And Gregory and Amanda are going to talk about that and what they do. And Gregory Kelser, again, and the Boys Foundation that he started to, help serve children in the Detroit area. It's like so incredible to hear how he and his wife started it and why and what they do, and to continually and forever give back. So that is so inspiring. Like, it makes selling tickets easy, because you're like, just come and share and like.
It's a very inspirational night. There is also a silent auction at it.
Yes. So Olga, you do so well, because they all look so beautiful. She packages everything together, and there's so many different items, and it's really exciting. So I mean, what are some of the things people could try to win?
Oh my gosh, yes. As I was like looking in my little Excel spreadsheet and setting everything up, we had our meeting and you put it all out on the tables. It's like, wow, that also gets me excited. So we have huge baskets, a couple of them actually, a Yeti, we'll have 2 Yeti coolers filled with, probably between the cooler and the contents of nice wine and liquor and spirits, like $500, like each, like the retail value of those, ginormous. I have jewelry that's being donated. We have bracelets. We have earrings. We have really cool coffee mugs, a beautiful handmade quilt that was donated that is absolutely stunning. Lots of gift cards from wonderful downtown merchants in Brighton and Howell.
That local support.
It really is. And they've been so kind year after year. We can name so many of them. You're like, of course they're supporting it. You've got all these beautiful local coffee shops and clothing stores, the downtown merchants, and they are always impacted by like the economy and seasonality. And yet how kind of them to continue to come in and be like, hi, like here's some Spartan gear, and you can pair it with something else like a gift card that another merchant gave you to make really, really beautifully, done gift baskets filled with great, solid content. So bid high.
Game tickets. I felt like maybe there were some game tickets for something.
Yes, we're hoping to secure those. We're really close. A board member is thinking that he's able to get one for a really good game. So
excellent.
Right.
Yes,
I know
for sure.
At all that.
Yes, and I love the silent auction.
Yes.
I have things up in my wall in the basement, in the man cave of you go there, you bid on this, you have a drink, then you bid a little bit more, but I love having those things. And I love that there's, so much of it is Spartan themed.
Yes, it is. Which
so
is awesome.
It's a great opportunity for people to go out, have a great night out, have a good dinner, have an inspirational speech, meet some great Spartans.
I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah.
Meet great Spartans, and it's never too early. I have people that tell us this year over year because of the time of year. It's some anniversaries coming up. We have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So we have gift baskets that are really ready to go for you to purchase for a loved one, a friend, a family, a neighbor, or a colleague. So we have a lot of them already just ready for you to be the highest bidder and be ready to, give your gift. So, which is awesome.
Now, in the past couple of years, we've been doing that wine pull. So how does that work?
Yeah. So that is great. It's like everyone's a winner. Now we have limited number of wine bottles. I think we're up to probably between 20 and 25. So you come up, you give us your $20, and we give you a number, and you pull, you get to pull a number out of a basket, and then you win that number, whatever. That's kind of like a blindfold on you.
It's on
whatever.
A little cork, if I remember.
Yeah, it's on a cork. You pull it out, and then that's the bottle of wine you get. All the bottles are numbered. So everybody's a winner, which is really fun to come away.
Too.
Those are nice bottles.
Yes.
Special treat that you wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I don't know about other people. Most people, you just get the regular bottle of wine, but to have a chance at something that's expensive.
Well,
nice
and you might be trying something a little bit new, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of times you're like, I just go for this flavor I like all the time.
Right. My Cabernet and so you can try that. That's exactly, we tried Pinot Grigio because we pulled it at a wine pull, and one of our sons went one year and he's like, I tried that wine. I would have never had Grenache. I didn't even know what it was. It was really good. So I'm like, I know. We keep trying to add some new things here and there too,
this year,
right?
There's a kind of a new thing going.
There is.
Yes, the 50-50.
The 50-50. So we have that new thing. A board member thought, let's try this. We're like, yay, everybody
all the
wins.
Paperwork, everything was very formal.
Right.
Took a lot involved, but I feel like there's a lot of all hands on deck, right?
Really
it's a great group, and everybody's working hard because all of it just raises money for this great reason that we explained with the scholarships.
Yes.
And because as an organization, one thing I take a lot of pride in, everyone involved is volunteers.
All of us. Yeah.
So in terms of overhead, there's none. It's it's really remarkable that all the profits through everything goes directly to scholarships.
I know, and we are really proud of that. And I've had a lot of different entities where we're, asking for donations, and they can be corporate sponsorships, and they're asking, so how much of what you raise goes to administration fees? And I'm like, we are really proud to say that because the board is very strong and composed of, leaders in the community, no one's being compensated, and volunteers are not.
And we all donate.
We all
do. So when there
is,
items that the group needs, somebody or another ends up volunteering to just donate it.
Of course, like the desserts that they're going to receive some delicious desserts while at the gala too. That's part of your ticket price. And board members are always like volunteering, like, let's bring desserts. You can make it, you can buy it, just go ahead and bring it. And so that really does help, right? Offset any of the expenses that you might incur. Printing, you name it, we all just kind of come together so that the money goes to the kids, which is where our heartbeat is and where we want all the money to go. So it makes it really, makes it really easy. And the 50-50, like that is a great way to generate some new fun for the group and participants. And I think we're going to do like arm's length. So hopefully those selling the tickets have really long arms or wingspans like Tayshaun Prince, like the bald eagle, 8 feet, wingspan. So you're sure you get a bunch of tickets. So we're excited. I think arm's length's like $20 and then $25 for like, the full arm's length. So 2 arms. So we're excited. I think it'll be fun to go and pedal that and have some fun with it. And people are
it's a fun
so
event.
kind and generous,
Right. No, that is so good. I did want to pause for a second and just give a shout out to our sponsor for the podcast, Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union. So thank you so much for his support here in this. Today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in our community for many years. Jim Paquette is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their homeownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special. Now let's dive back into the stories of the incredible entrepreneurs we are featuring today.
Great. Yes, Jim is such a great guy, and we definitely appreciate his support. And so it makes this podcast possible so we can spread the word, because this is a great event. I bet you there are Spartan fans, even, Spartan supporters that want to help, these students. And
absolutely.
This is a great way to do it.
And we really appreciate it, right? Because it's spreading the word. You don't want to be the best kept secret, right? You want to get the word out there, knowing people are busy. I have people that couldn't attend. They're like, I'm going to buy tickets and donate them to my customer, my friend, my, somebody, a widower, your neighbor. So that even if you can't come, just, being able to support that. Or when you do come, there's so many fun things to do. The wine pool, the 50-50, the silent auction. And I have some that just want to use our QR code to, donate some cash, which is great because, again, all that money goes to a scholarship fund. And, the sponsors have been very kind and generous. And, when you donate $500, that's a half a scholarship. So you've got 2 businesses that are donating $500 each. There's 1 student that they just helped. So I know, I was like, when you put it in that perspective, it's like every dollar really does count because it adds up quickly.
Right.
When you get everybody in the room. Yeah.
A lot of those are local businesses too. That just, that really want to invest in the community. And it's so beautiful to see.
It really is. And I think it's fun because then you're like, oh, you go and buy things from the silent auction. It's like, all right, guess what we're doing next week? I get to go to this business for dinner, somewhere else for drinks, and go there and pick out, go get jewelry here and, a new shirt there. So it's really fun. You're like, oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and the Livingston County Spartans is such a great organization. I know that the organization has other events that they have as well.
Yes, they do. So last year, we got back to doing this, and it was a really big splash. And I'm actually kind of heading up the committee for this year. That's a watch party. So
fun.
We held an event with the Brighton Lighthouse people that they helped us sponsor to host the event, and
that was for the Maryland game last year, which went down to the wire.
Yes,
that was a last-second field goal on that one.
Yeah, nobody wanted to leave.
30 or 40 people there,
right?
And since our son wants to be in the Michigan State drumline, that's his dream in life. But he's on the Howell High School drumline. He was able to bring the drumline there.
That was
and
so
even
cool.
the people driving by, they could hear. But everybody got a great little impromptu concert, and so that was all very exciting.
It was really fun.
Working on getting that all together for this year, for maybe next month, but especially since the times of the games don't get released till shortly before. It's a lot to coordinate.
Sure, it is, right? Yeah, with the game time. But it's that was exciting. It was fun, and your son and some classmates doing the steel drums, and yeah, right? Am I right?
Well,
No.
yeah. Well, he's on the snare,
snare.
but there's the cymbals and
really neat.
There was the bass and there was the quads and but it really was the full high school drum line, which is outstanding, by the way.
They are.
A lot of the drum lines in the county are good, but definitely.
And some of the kids on those drum
dear.
lines have gotten scholarships before. So these are high school students.
Fabulous.
You know, and again,
would've
a
known?
shout out to all the high school students out there that may be listening or their parents. Remember, if you're putting your application in right now and you plan on going to Michigan State, this is a scholarship that you should definitely be
Have on
your radar to
Usually
be getting that out.
Deadlines kind of in the middle of March.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that the scholarship application has been released yet, but it would be something to watch the website.
Absolutely.
Talk to your counselor as well, because I know the counselors have lists of what the scholarships are, so they may be able to point you in the direction of the website if you don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And if they go to Livingston County Spartans.com website, I think it's on the Invest tab. And so it'll talk about the scholarship and, you know, what's involved. And thank gosh, it's very simple. I think there's like 3 things you have to do, you know, and then like it makes it really easy.
Right.
For those with students in high school
Yes.
and seniors or approaching to be aware that you live in a fantastic community in Livingston County, and there's a lot of businesses and a lot of resources available to you that even outside of Michigan State and our organization.
Agreed.
That's one of the things I'm so proud of being part of Livingston County, that I feel like even when I've gone to some of these award ceremonies to help present our scholarships, I take so much pride because there's so many scholarships being given to so many students.
Which is wonderful.
And to hear the stories of what all of them are doing. Like there's just great kids in our community making a big difference.
Right, which is great. And with the community support and people like you and like you're saying, Jim Paquette, and, you know, it takes a village. And I do really believe that in some homes more than others that, you know, they might be a single parent and someone struggling or raised by grandparents today is a really common thing. So every dollar, you know, like these $1,000 scholarships, to some they might think, oh, it's only $1,000, and someone else is like, that's a make or break. Like that again means I don't have to have that third job, and I'm able to get extra resources and get the, you know, computer or gas in my car. You know, like I can have both things. You know, buy that laptop for school and be able to pay for gas and food. So
Makes a difference.
Well, and when you look at, you know, kids going to college and going to Michigan State, they're looking at money from a lot of buckets, right?
You got it.
And that $1,000 scholarship. So if you are listening and you can come to the gala, like you said, come to the gala, support. Even if you can't come, you can go on there and you can donate. This is a great cause to help people out, and it's giving back to the community and helping, you know, future Spartans be able to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And enjoying a great night of fellowship and camaraderie and like great keynote speakers that I'm excited to to hear all about them. So it's not often you get to go and get all that together. You know, actually get some, I'll call it entertainment, because it really is. You're and meet with Spartan legends and get up close and personal. You can also they'll do autographs, they'll do photos, take time to chat with you. And, you know, that in that small venue that you just, you know, you don't really have the ability oftentimes to have that happen, you know, that just like, hi, how's it going? Like you said, D'Antonio, like,
and
let's
they're always so personable.
Yes.
You know, like when we met D'Antonio, it's like you get a little starstruck, right? You're like, oh, okay, I'm going to go up. I'm going to ask for, you know, a photo here.
Be cool.
Right? You want to, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's D'Antonio though. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But he was so humble and he was so kind. And I came up to him and I'm like, hey, you know, there's a lot of people that would really like to talk to you before or after or do photos. He's like, are you sure? He goes, I don't want anybody to feel obligated. I'm like, what? Oh, it's just exactly the opposite. We all have big, like we're so in awe and we're so enamored, and boys are like, it's like a schoolgirl crush. We can't wait. And so there was just the lineup of people. And same with Gregory Kelser. It's like, tell me more, Special K. Tell me about You're a Legend. Like, what was it like, and who is your favorite player, or who do you follow today, and you got any predictions for how you think, you know, the Spartans are going to play this year? You know, that's what we want to know. What's the inside track? So it's just fun to be able to, you know, chat with them at just such a like common level, and they're so grounded too. I'm like, how do you, you know, stay so grounded when so many of them have accomplished a lot and, you know, in life? And
And even like, this year with Greg and Amanda Jones,
Yes.
I remember being a kid and watching him on Saturdays and then watching him on Sundays.
Yeah, you're like,
So
Wow.
so it's this opportunity. It is a great cause, a great opportunity, and you come away inspired. You
Right.
come away
Right.
inspired for a number of different reasons, and that's one of the things I want to get out there to people. Is it's a special event.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, I like how you frameworked that, because it is, you come away feeling invigorated and very satisfied and happy, and kind of even like, gosh, I'm so glad I went to that event. And your heart and your stomach are both full. You got a great meal and great drinks and some laughs, and get to see maybe people in the community you haven't seen in a minute. And then do
Everybody's
great
so
work,
friendly.
right?
Yeah.
They're they are so friendly, and to do great work, and then be able to talk to some fellow Spartans who share that spirit. And I gotta say, there's going to be Wolverines in the house too, because we have divided families, and they both come out for this. For years they've both husband and wife. We just talked to a couple yesterday that she was a midwife and went to U of M, and he's an OB-GYN, and both retired. He went to Michigan State, and so they're a house divided, but they're like, you come out to support and Michigan State
Good
and
cause.
incoming students, and a good cause. So
Right.
I'm like, we're all about Big Ten, so you come out and wear your colors proud, and come out for a good cause, and
And it's
fellowship and
It's a
excitement.
nice mix of people in that you get to meet Spartans from different eras.
Oh, right.
So I've sat down and talked to people that were there in the 60s and in the 70s
That's
and
so
in the
cool.
80s.
Yeah.
And in
It's
the
really
90s
Yeah.
and beyond. But
Right.
but we're I say
Getting
when I was there, it was 25, 30 years ago now.
A
So
little bit, yeah.
Right.
But and the neat part is too, and I know so many of our episodes have kind of longer shelf lives, and right now we're sort of focused on the gala this year, but the gala is something that we do every year.
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do every year. We've had to switch the times of year a few times, but this time of year seems to work out best. You never quite get it right. I know there might be some high school events going on, the September the 26th. But again, people are like, I'll buy the ticket and donate it, or my husband can come, but the wife can't because they might go to a high school sporting event. We try to keep it, this time of year, so you can look forward to it and kind of plan it in your calendars.
Right. Makes a big difference. So
I know.
definitely, come and come again, and, know that this is something that that's the main event for raising the funds for these. So that's why we really pour into it. And you're so talented to be able to put it all together. I mean, how do you bring
you.
an event like this all together?
Well, it's a lot of, first of all, a few different things. Putting everything into an Excel spreadsheets to be able to manage, who do you need to call on, who donated last year. And so you really want to be kind to and thankful to all the sponsors, and making sure that they also get recognition in programs and on social media and et cetera. So it's a lot of keeping track of information and data, and then kind of flipping the switch to the sales side of it, where you're like, okay, we've got to, today I was running a little behind schedule. So I wanted to go door knock on a few different places that I wanted to follow up and say, hey, we'd really love to invite you in. You haven't been a sponsor yet. You haven't come to the event, but you're really missing out. And, I would love you to come either as our guest, or if you can afford a sponsorship this year, great. So kind of that constant outreach to new faces, as well as thanking the existing ones. So I like to go and thank sponsors that, recently donated, and, make sure you give them that time. And because we're so grateful for their support, wanting that acknowledgement. So it's a lot of logistics, driving around and, like I said, door knocks, and going to visit people and putting out, information, and using even snail mail, which has helped hey, get the word out to people in
You
whichever
pour your
way.
passion into this. It's so evident to see, because I feel like the gala gets better every single year. It's
that's
such
so
an
great.
outstanding. We've brought friends to it, and people have had so much fun.
Yeah.
And
That
it's
is
just
so great to hear.
great way to spend the evening.
Thank you. Yeah, that is so great to hear. And I think, again, it's just everybody inviting, new faces, friends and family. And I did have somebody ask me, do you have to be, an MSU graduate to come? No, you can be a friend, a family, a neighbor, just somebody with Spartan spirit. So yeah, you don't have to be, the good news is you don't have to be an alumni. You can come if you've never attended before. You can still buy a ticket or tickets. So yeah, just gather up your friends and family and enjoy the, the Spartan pride and spirit for a great cause.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep. So how someone's listening, they want to go, how do they get tickets?
So they can go to LivingstonCountySpartans.com. They can go on Facebook too, because we have Livingston County Spartans is on Facebook. You can go and check that out and follow that. And we have a QR code for easy ordering too. So the contact information is right in there. You can call my husband, Ron Long, the president, and he will be glad to sell you tickets and glad to tell you, sell you a sponsorship. And that information is also on the website. So we try to make it easy. You can call Don and Angela Putkela, and they would gladly sell you a ticket. So we try to make it easy.
Yeah, we have a great board of directors that are so involved in every aspect to all of this.
They sure are.
It does take a village for sure.
Yes. And, hats off and kudos to them because they go out early. They've been walking downtown Brighton and Howell and Heartland, for months, procuring wonderful things for the auction and working on getting sponsors. So you're right. They have been out for quite a long time. They're always so humble and secretive. Like they're just so quiet about it and so humble. And they come back with all these great things. I'm like, wow, they came to our last meeting. I'm like, oh my gosh, you procured all of this? Or they donate things themselves. And a few are so talented. They make the baskets themselves. I'm like, how do you do that?
Beautiful. It's awesome.
Right? They're so beautiful.
It's an honor to serve with everyone.
Yes. Yeah. They're just very humble people. And I love how passionate they are about the students and giving back. And each person comes with their own skill and their talent, right? And how they like to give back. So that's what I think is great about the board being so diverse. Some want to go call, some want to do auction, some want to help just set up or tear down. So everyone can give in different ways, whatever they're comfortable. And same with volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers to help in that day of, or, just set up and tear down. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Any way you want to get involved, we'd love to have it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
Olga, it's been such a pleasure, and this is an exciting event and an exciting, so wonderful cause.
Wonderful. Well, excited about the opportunity. On Friday, September 26th, we'll be here right before we know it. So it's never too late. Go ahead and give us a call and send us an email. Our information is on LivingstonCountySpartans.com.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much.
And welcome to Livingston.
And go green.
Go
away.